If you are tired of being broke, stressed, and stuck in a never-ending cycle, you need to focus on one thing: making your first $10,000. When I was 18, I had no money and no qualifications, but I did have big ambitions. Instead of worrying about making millions, I set myself a smaller, more achievable goal of making $10,000. Now, as a self-made millionaire, I can tell you that the first $10,000 was the hardest to make. But once I hit it, everything changed. It wasn't just about the money, it was about proving to myself that making money is a skill and not luck. Once you figure out how to make that first $10,000, you know you can do it again and again and eventually scale it into real wealth. Most people make this way harder than it needs to be. They jump into crypto because their friend made money, or they try day trading because some guru promised it would make them rich. The problem is both of these methods need huge upfront cash reserves and crazy luck. These are not side hustles, and they should never be seen as your main source of income. Instead, think of them as tools to multiply your money when you are already wealthy. When you're just starting out, you need something that requires a very small amount of money to begin with and constantly puts cash in your pocket every single day. When you strip away all the noise, there are really only 4 options. Option 1 is selling in-person services. I am talking about things like personal training, delivery driving, dog walking, barbering, videography, and so many more. Although these services sound basic, they are actually one of the fastest ways to make money, giving you a way to get paid immediately. It is pretty cheap to get started, and you do not need a fancy website or logo. Just find customers in your local area, deliver the service, and get paid. Option 2 is local products, like selling home-baked goods or handmade artwork. This can be great, but it takes time, and your profit margins often get eaten up by the cost of materials. Option 3 is global products, which includes starting a clothing brand, dropshipping, or print on demand. Going global means you have access to a massive customer base, but it can start slowly because you constantly have to reinvest your profits back into new inventory to keep up. This brings us to option 4, which is the absolute best choice for students: selling online services. This includes copywriting, video editing, thumbnail design, running ads, or social media management. Selling online services combines global reach with massive profit margins. With products, you might make a 20% margin, but with services, you are looking at 70 to 80% margins that go straight into your pocket. To start, just ask yourself what you are good at, what you enjoy learning about, and what problems businesses consistently struggle with. The sweet spot where these overlap is your high-income skill. Most people get stuck trying to spend months or even years perfecting a skill before offering it to anyone. That is totally backwards. You need to start getting real-world experience as quickly as possible. Start by setting your prices slightly under the normal market rate so you can earn and learn at the same time. To transform a high-income skill into a $10,000 income, you must master the 4 elements of the skill pyramid. Miss just one, and you will stay stuck at the bottom, working hard but never breaking through. Element 1 is positioning. You see, not all online services are equal. The real money is in offering to help businesses make more money. Businesses think about money completely differently than individuals do. When a business is making $50,000 a month, spending $2,000 to solve a big problem is not a big deal, as long as it helps them generate more revenue. They always need more customers, better systems, and ways to stand out from the competition, and they are always willing to pay to solve these problems. For example, instead of being a video editor for small YouTubers, edit videos for an entrepreneur who sells a high-ticket product. Instead of writing cheap articles, focus on optimizing landing pages that convert leads into sales. Put yourself where the money is already being made. Element 2 is leverage. You will never make $10,000 without leveraging value over time. Businesses do not pay for effort, they pay for results. The moment you stop charging for the hours you work and instead charge for the return on investment you provide, your income will instantly multiply. If you just schedule posts and reply to comments as a social media manager, you are easily replaceable. But if you can prove that your strategy is bringing in more engagement, more leads, and more sales, you become a valuable asset, not an expense. Element 3 is reach. One of the biggest mistakes people make when starting out is thinking they always have to chase clients. You need to be thinking about how to make clients come to you. The best way to do this is to constantly put your work out there online. If you edit videos, show before and after clips. If you design thumbnails, explain why your design got more clicks. When people see your value publicly, your inbox will get flooded with direct messages from people wanting to work with you. Finally, element 4 is automation and reliability. 95% of people who start a side hustle fail before they even get going, not because of a lack of talent, but because they miss their deadlines. The people who get paid the most are not always the most talented, but they are the most organized and reliable. Use simple management systems to track your projects and follow up with clients. Being reliable is what gets you paid again and again. I do not care how much money you make until you see at least $1 million in your bank account. You should not be wasting it on supercars, designer clothes, or expensive nights out. None of it matters unless you can turn your income into long-term wealth. The rich see their income as something to spend, whereas the truly wealthy use their income to make more money. To turn your cash into financial freedom, you need to start investing. Let us walk through the 4 key areas of investing, starting from the safest all the way up to the highest risk. The first level is a high-yield savings account. While the interest rates might not make you rich overnight, this account acts as your financial safety net. Having cash on the sidelines means you are never forced to sell your long-term investments at the wrong time during a market crash just because an emergency came up. It is not about big returns. It is about having a buffer so you are always covered. Level 2 is index funds and exchange-traded funds. You have probably heard the saying that it only takes the price of a coffee a day to become a millionaire. That is the power of long-term index fund investing. It is extremely low maintenance. The most popular option is the S&P 500, which packs 500 of the top publicly traded companies in America into one easy investment. There are also total stock market funds and emerging market funds that give you great global exposure. The average return of the S&P fund over the last several decades has been around 10%. This means if you consistently invest a small amount of money every single day from a young age, compound interest will turn you into a millionaire by retirement. And if you do not want to wait that long, you simply invest more money. Level 3 is individual stocks. This is where investing gets more exciting and hands-on. Individual stocks allow you to get direct exposure to specific companies you believe in, and they can offer much higher returns than index funds if the company performs incredibly well. However, they also come with higher risks and require you to learn how to read financial statements and understand market movements. Finally, level 4 is cryptocurrency. Crypto is highly volatile and carries the highest risk. While alternative coins can make people crazy returns, they can also lose value just as fast. If you want to play it smart, build your position slowly using dollar cost averaging and focus mainly on the established blue-chip assets like Bitcoin and Ethereum. Never jump in during market hype at bad prices, and only invest what you can afford to lose. Real wealth starts with making your first $10,000 through a reliable online skill, and it ends with using smart investments to turn that money into an everlasting asset. Start taking action today and build the future you deserve.